Part 2 of our special series on customer service in conjunction with the Times Colonist newspaper. Tonight on Satisfaction Not Guaranteed, Check News is looking at the retail sector. We commissioned Ipsos Reid to ask people on Vancouver Island about customer service. 1/3 of respondents say it's gotten worse. When asked what factors are contributing to this change, multiple responses were allowed. 68% say it's the hiring of inexperienced, underqualified employees due to a labor shortage. 64% say it's a lack of training. Another 64% say jobs are too low paying. And 50% say society is generally getting more rude.
It's humorless, it's dry, it's okay, but there's nothing for a town that relies on tourists and there's so many shops. The average person behind the sales counter really doesn't have a clue.
On let's say a nice day would be 7, but if it's like any other day, probably about 5 or 6.
I think it's part and parcel with wages. I think wages have to be hiked in order to allow people to care more.
So do frontline workers in the retail industry care enough about you, the customer? In this next installment in our special series, we look at why training is absolutely crucial in today's economic climate, especially for younger workers.
And if it's a nice cozy hug, then you've stuffed it perfectly.
For 5-year-old Isabel Tate, this isn't just one of her first experiences as a consumer. It's also about a connection between a little girl and her new toy.
And now you've filled your bear with hugs and kisses and love from you.
When Stuffed with Love store owner Jada Bomer is looking for staff, they have to be able to relate to every kid, young and old.
As this is a very special thing for children to do, and they need to know that we're having as much fun as they are with them.
That's pretty nice.
And what happens if staff isn't engaged in their work?
Business won't be here, they won't have jobs.
Experts say there's an important trend going on in the retail industry. It speaks loud and clear for the need for proper training.
We're hiring for smiles and not for what's deeper.
Don Kaplan is an instructor at Royal Roads University. He says there's a distinct lack of dedication from younger workers under 30. Combine that with rising costs for companies and a growing labor shortage, and you have what he calls a perfect storm on Vancouver Island.
The standards of the companies or the people that are the organizations behind the service are probably dropping somewhat by necessity.
Tell me what you think forms a first impression. Eye contact?
Woodgrove Mall in Nanaimo is serious about customer service. 6 million visitors shop here each year, and 20% are tourists. It's the first mall in the province to receive the Superhost business designation by Tourism BC, and that means at least 60% of mall staff is Superhost certified.
All of our retailers are looking for ways to be more successful, and this program allows them to do that, allows them to serve their customers better, and in turn, those customers will keep coming back.
Are these gifts for somebody?
And return customers are what this store is banking on.
People have a lot of different places to choose to spend their money, and I think each business needs to be honored that they have chosen your store to spend their money in.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day then.
See ya.
Tomorrow on Check News, we take a look at the hospitality industry and the impact of a labor shortage on our local economy. And in tomorrow's edition of the Times Colonist, how poor reviews spread like wildfire.